sometimes we feel that when it comes to judgment and courts, the way we do it anyhow in Nigeria, whereby you can choose to honor or dishonor a particular judgment, you can do it with international bodies. It's not the same anywhere.
So guys, welcome once again to Think Tank TV. Now, when we keep telling the political class that one decision from a political class can actually affect the generality of Nigerians, I think they do not understand. And I'm going to be showing you how the singular decision of Ibikunle Amosuns, the governor of Ogun State in 2016, has affected over 200 million Nigerians. Yes, just yesterday we found out that a court in China has actually seized 3 of Nigerian private jets. How did it happen? It was in 2016 when the government of Ogun State went ahead to revoke a contract that belongs to a company by name Zhuhai Zhongfu, a China-based company. They were actually, first of all, awarded the contract to manage the Ogun Free Zone Authority. I think it was an estate belonging to the Ogun State Govt. And at some point, Ibikunle Amosuns went ahead to revoke the contract. Yes, they've been front and back in courts. And at the end of the day, previously, about some months ago, the court had given a judgment that some properties belonging to Nigerian government in London, UK, and I think England should be seized. Just yesterday, we got an information that a court in China has also ruled that the 3 private jets belonging to Nigerian government should be seized. One of them is a private jet with the number A330. It's the one that Peter Obi came out and said that the Nigerian government should not buy. A lot of Nigerians spoke about it when President Bola and Tinubu and the National Assembly went ahead to approve $100 million to buy that private jet and $50 million to customize the jet. It has actually been seized by the Chinese government. Reactions has continually trailed it, as I'd like us to hear the full gist from Ekpa on Arise News, where Rufai Oseni and Ayo, other Arise News journalists, has gone ahead to analyze the nitty-gritty surrounding this information. Please do what to intentionally hit the like button. That's the only way you can support us for the good thing we do, to keep you informed continually. Don't go anywhere. I'll be coming back to give you my own full thoughts about it.
Nigerians have been reacting to a Premium Times report alleging that a French court has authorized the seizure of 3 presidential jets linked to the federal government of Nigeria. 2 of the jets are said to be part of the Nigerian Presidential Air Fleet, which were reported to be put up for sale, while the 3rd is an Airbus 330, which was purchased by Nigeria but yet to be delivered. Well, according to the report, the presidential jets were reportedly seized after an application by a Chinese company whose export processing zone management contract was revoked by the Ogun State Govt in 2016. A court had awarded about $74.5 million in compensation. I mean, which kind wahala is this? A lot of people have reacted on social media. Let me just take this from Ekpa, who wrote, well, moving forward, if a state must go into an agreement, contract with a foreign partner, it must be sanctioned by the federal government or the OAGF, that's the Attorney General of the Federation. If the agreement must be cancelled, it must be with the explicit consent of the federal government and the OAGF. Which kind wahala be this? That was the tweet that I found. But you know, I mean, the federal government at this point is having to, pay for what the state government has, accrued. But we need to hear from the Ogun State Govt as to the reason why that, Chinese contract was revoked. We also need to hear from the federal government as to what was supposed to have been done in order to avert this sort of embarrassment for Nigeria, according to the news that is being bandied around now. Yeah, this is an embarrassing story, and I have to give context that this happened in 2016, so it's not the current administration in Ogun State that's responsible for this. However, governance is a continuum. So whether or not it was in 2016, and this is why we keep emphasizing on leadership, because a decision made by a particular administration could have far-reaching effects even down the line, years and years afterwards, and this is what we've seen here. The award of over $70 million as a result of that failed transaction was actually done by an independent arbitrary court, and this was done that they should pay. They were owing because of the way their transaction wasn't honored, and the fact that an agreement wasn't honored according to the contracts that had been agreed by both parties. Years down the line, sometimes we feel that
when it comes to judgment and courts, the way we do it anyhow in Nigeria, whereby you can choose to honor or dishonor a particular judgment, you can do it with international bodies. It's not the same anywhere. And so now these 3 aircraft are being held as almost collateral, and the judgment is that until Ogun State honors and pays the bailiff to the tune of about $76 million, they won't release the aircraft. And now the federal government is suffering from a decision and bad administration, bad judgment by a particular administration. This is not the only thing. Remember the P&ID case? We've had a number of cases like this where we almost bury our heads in the sand and then we have to pay years and years later for it. I can't imagine the interest that accrued on this over the years, and now we are having to pay. Where is the money to pay for it, OG? This aircraft, the third one you mentioned, hasn't even been delivered. The other 2 went for maintenance. The third aircraft, which Nigeria is reportedly have paid over $100 million, is also being held to ransom as a result of this bad this contract that went so. So like you mentioned, we have to hear from the Ogun State government as to why they didn't, what happened. So we get the true picture of things, but to be honest, the court had ruled. So the court had the opportunity to hear both sides of the story and ruled in favor of Zhangzhun, which is a Chinese company. So maybe let's start paying off the debts.
74.
That's just the penalty.
So they've kidnapped
dollars. They've kidnapped
them ransom.
They're holding it. They're holding it on 3.
Shøck.
Yes, just like that, Rufai.
Is it the president when they want to go and set?
Well, we don't know. I believe one of them that they said that has not yet been delivered is probably the one in contention. One of them.
So
they said jet, not yours.
So what we bought in the kidnap?
All right, $74.5 million is what they're asking.
You've seen it for yourself. Now, the truth of the matter is that this is not one of those court judgments that the Nigerian political class will decide to ignore, because it is outside the confines of Nigerians. And we keep saying it, that the political class must make sure they take the right decisions. This issue of acting all-powerful, where government, we don't care what you think, without following due process, would actually not take the nation anywhere. And the truth is that government is a continuum. Although it was not in President Bola administration, it was in 2016 when Ibikunle Amosuns was governor of Ogun State that this whole transaction happened. But right now, obviously, he's in his house relaxing and enjoying himself, while the present-day government will be suffering for the actions he took, which obviously is going to be having a ripple effect on the Nigerian populace. Yes, because when they seize a private jet belonging to Nigeria, it is actually the money of taxpayers. It is actually taxpayers' money that they have seized. And I just hope that President Bola Tinubu's government will do the needful to know how to come out of this mess. Please, I would like you to intentionally do what to go to the comment section and drop your thoughts. Let's get to know what you think about the actions of Ibikunle Amosuns, the China government, and what you think the government can do about this present situation. Also, do well to hit the subscribe button if you're new to our station. Turn on all notification bells so that you can be duly informed when we put out more informative content. Many thanks indeed to all our viewers and returning subscribers. We truly do not take it lightly. My name again is Moses, and this is Think Tank.